hundreds of manta rays are killed every day for the gill rakers. This slaughter has to be stopped for the survival of mobula and manta rays worldwide. As our world's population continues to grow beyond 7 billion, so does the demand to provide sufficient sustenance. More than half of the world live within 60 kilometers of the coast and are dependent on the ocean for their primary source of food. 90% of the world's fish stocks have already been consumed, and as the desirable fish disappear, fishermen and entire coastal populations set their lines and nets on a new focus. Unregulated and unprotected in many areas of the world, our oceans are exploited to an unsustainable extent. Manta ray gill plates are an emerging product into the traditional Chinese medicine market and are solely regarded as a medicinal product, unlike shark fin, which is considered to be a status symbol. The demand for mobula and manta ray gill plates has significantly increased in the last few decades. Some practitioners maintain that gill rakers aid in the detoxification of the bloodstream, and the promotion of this product claims that they can treat health issues ranging from asthma, skin rashes, and even cure cancer. None of this has any scientific backing. Economic agendas are the driving force behind the gill plate trade, providing poverty-stricken fishermen a healthy reward for the harvest of manta rays, in countries like Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and Eastern Africa. Each kilo of gill raker is worth over 100 times the price of a kilo of meat, creating new fisheries specifically targeting manta rays. Previously, fishermen would avoid catching mobula and mantas as they damage the nets and the meat is of no market value. It is estimated that close to 40 million tonnes of sea life is discarded as bycatch annually, representing 40% of the world's estimated total catch. This bycatch is what manta rays are under severe threat by. Bassein net fishing and gill net fishing are some of the most destructive and indiscriminate fishing techniques ever developed by mankind. They have devastating effects on schooling mobula and manta ray who feed within the fishing grounds and are often caught as bycatch. Entire feeding congregations or mating chains can be swept up by these nets that stretch for over 600 metres across our ocean, taking everything they come across.
Biologically speaking, mantas have a little bit of an issue reproductively. They only give birth twice every 3 years, so it's a 12-month gestation, so it takes a long time, and generally only give birth to one pup. They can give birth to two, but it's fairly rare, and that means that if there's a situation where there's take from the population can actually decline because they're not managing to restock as they go. So here at Ningaloo we're actually quite lucky. We have a population that's not directly being threatened by fishing. There's no take from the population as far as we're aware, so we can actually study the population in a healthy growing situation, if you like. So all of the data that we've been collecting specifically in and around Coral Bay can go into giving us estimates of population size, which we can then use and extrapolate to areas where they are being taken to give us some idea of what effects that might really be having on the population. So it's a really good baseline area which we can study to get really critical information on mantas. I guess the biggest thing that we can do in and around Coral Bay and Ningaloo Reef for both species is awareness, continue giving people fantastic trips with mantas, and also I guess minimise the sorts of pressures that we might be putting on from a tourism perspective. Whilst you take away the fishing aspect, and that's fantastic, and replace it with tourism, which they're doing in a lot of places around the world, tourism can have an influence. So what we want to do is minimise that to a certain extent while still giving people the beauty of swimming with a manta, so we can do it forevermore. It's something that I think people will continue to flock to see, certainly with the population nice and stable. As with whale sharks, we're in a really good situation where we can promote and participate in best practice tours. So we can actually promote codes of conduct to swim with mantas in an appropriate way, and then show the world that it's doable to actually conserve a population through tourism. Another important aspect is collecting data. So people all along the West Australian coast can assist with that, but certainly here at Coral Bay and here at Ningaloo Reef, where we have lots of mantas and we swim with them all the time, it's really important that everybody gets involved in what's called citizen science, takes photos, adds it into the collective database and gives us an understanding of what's happening throughout the year. So that's really important, everyone can get involved in that, and all those who love mantas and want to see them protected certainly, I would think, would want to get involved in that.